against Jason Sosa. And you can see that they are both 29 years old. Lomachenko with a 2-inch height advantage, 1-inch arm length advantage, armpit to the end of the fist. They weighed in at 129.5 Lomachenko, 130 Sosa, and overnight, Jason Sosa has rehydrated up to an unofficial 3-pound working weight advantage over Lomachenko as he goes into the ring. Jason Sosa didn't begin boxing until he was 21 years old. Just 8 years later, he now stands ready to take on one of the sport's elite talents. We spoke to Sosa about how it all began on the streets of Camden, New Jersey.
Camden is one of the toughest, cities out there. The violence, had a couple of my friends shot, stuff like that, going to jail, in and out of jail. I mean, fight was always in me. That's all we did was fight. I ended up hitting a kid in the face and ended up breaking his jaw in 6 places. That right there changed, my way of fighting in the streets. I found a job. I worked for 5 to 6 years. I worked at a pizza store, cooking and stuff. The man above, he gives you signs. And I believe he gave me a sign. He told me to get up and go to the gym, and I went to the gym, never left. Just kept with it, kept going, kept rolling with it, and then it led me to today. I'm blessed, I'm humble, I'm relaxed, and I'm just ready to show the world.
The blonde-haired Puerto Rican, perhaps the most memorable appearance in the ring for him was against Nicholas Walters in December of 2015 in upstate New York. He wound up with a draw in the fight. Most ringside observers felt that Walters had won easily, but the scores were even, and one judge had it for Jason Sosa, which was very surprising. That's bound to give him confidence coming into the fight tonight, whether anybody else agreed with that decision or not.
Absolutely, because, it gives him confidence to know he can be in the game. Sosa is a come-forward guy. He don't mind getting hit, but he also come forward and he makes a fight. And that's where he gets credit for it. You know what? And the judge seen that.
And as Max Kellerman told you, he is a heavy underdog tonight against Vasyl Lomachenko, because it's fair to say that Lomachenko has taken the professional boxing world by storm. Title belts in 2 weight classes in his first 7 fights. Already having issues finding compelling opposition. His last opponent, Nicholas Walters, as you saw, was supposed to present real competition. What we got instead was one of the most dominant performances in recent memory.
I really wanted to test myself against a big fighter like Walters. The plan was for me to just be at my 60% for the first 6 rounds, and then he was trying to get me with a big shot, but he wasn't successful.
Lomachenko is just turning it into a boxing lesson.
I think I overdid a little bit. I was getting really physical with him, and I was pushing him around too much.
Oh my God, I mean, he's toying with Nicholas Walters.
And unfortunately, when I was at 80% and trying to hit on more, everybody saw what happened.
No. You don't want to continue? No. Okay. That's it.
You're stopping the fight. That's astonishing.
I was starting to toy with him, and I think he got really frustrated that he couldn't get me.
My punches. Yeah, not catching you. You're out of the punches. When I come back, when I'm coming back, you hitting me. Yeah.
I broke him down psychologically.
Lomachenko making his way into the arena. And as you have heard from both of the first 2 fights, this is a heavily pro-Ukrainian crowd, whether they are Ukrainian expatriates, Ukrainian Americans, diplomatic workers in Washington, D.C., who knows, but they chanted for Usyk in the first fight. They didn't get much chance to chant for Bozdik in the second fight because he got it done so quickly that it was a head spinner for almost everybody. And now they'll be chanting, we assume, Loma, 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 as Vasyl makes his way into the ring for this assignment against Jason Sosa. Lomachenko is trained by his father, Anatoly Lomachenko, and the other Ukrainian fighters all go to Anatoly Lomachenko for advice. He was their Olympic coach when they won 5 medals at the 2012 Olympic Games in London. And he has an influence on Usyk and Bostic, as well as, of course, supervision over this man's career. And you see the manager for all of them, Aigis Klimas, standing in the left side of that picture there. Now we've narrowed down, and Klimas is out of the shot, but the Lithuanian immigrant who also manages Sergei Kovalev manages all 3 of the Ukrainian star fighters you're watching tonight. Now, let's go into the ring to Michael Buffer for the official introductions for the main event.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the MGM National Harbor, Oxon Hill, Maryland, this is the main event, and it's all brought to you by Boxing Hall of Fame promoter, Mr. Bob Arum, along with Peltz Boxing Promotions. This is for 12 rounds of boxing for the WBO Featherweight, Super Featherweight Championship of the World. Sponsored by Kidder Sports, Tecate, Born Bold, and the MGM National Harbor. Sanctioned by the Maryland State Athletic Commission, Chairman Arnie Dansucker. Executive Director Patrick Pinella. And the World Boxing Organization, President and Supervisor of ringside for this bout, Francisco Paco Barcarcel. The 3 judges scoring from ringside, John Gradowski, Ron McNair, and Paul Wallace. And when the bell rings, your referee in charge of the action, Kenny Chevalier. And now the officials are ready. The fighters are in the ring, and they are ready. Boxing fans, are you ready? For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble! Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing white with gold, official weight 130 pounds. His professional record, 20 victories, including 15 wins by knockout with only 1 defeat and 4 close ones resulting in draw. From Camden, New Jersey, USA, the challenger, Jason El Canito Sosa. And across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing black with green, officially weighing in at 129 pounds. He's recognized as the greatest amateur fighter in boxing history, winning 396 fights with only 1 defeat, while capturing 2 world championships and 2 Olympic gold medals. Now, as a professional, with a record of 7 victories, 5 wins by KO, only 1 split decision loss, he's already captured 2 world titles. Dame Gospoda od German, Ukraine, the 2-time world champion, the reigning, defending WBO Super Featherweight Champion of the World, Vasyl Lomachenko.
Hey, look here, I already went over the instructions in the dressing room. The trunks is good to go, all right? The main thing I want is a clean break, all right? Watch the low blows, and I don't want them heads used in the wrong way. Touch these gloves up.
As you can see, Lomachenko's begun to connect with a boxing audience. People come out to see him tonight because they're understanding the same thing the boxing world is. He might be the best pound for pound. The question is, can he fight inside? Can Jason Sosa take the fight inside?
And he's going to have to do that. But you know what? Lomachenko has a record that you will look at and say, wait a minute, this guy's not experienced, but he is. And this is going to be really telling the next couple of rounds who really dictates the pace and continue to be mentally focused.
Philadelphia promoter Russell Peltz promoter for Jason Sosa, longtime veteran of the sport, clearly one of the ranking boxing historians among all the people you'll find at ringside in present-day era, scoffs at the notion that, as Michael Buffer said, and I have said, that Lomachenko is widely regarded as the greatest amateur in history. Russell points out, hey, Laszlo Papp of Hungary won 3 Olympic gold medals, and that's true. But Papp did not win 396 out of 397 amateur fights, and he's not visible to us now. So maybe there's a natural, immediate presence or a prejudice for Lomachenko.
Bias? No, anyone who loses 1 out of almost 400 amateur fights and wins 2 gold medals is on a short list for greatest amateurs of all time.
Agreed. Absolutely. And Russell just, I wouldn't be fair to Russell if I did not quote what he said.
And unlike Laszlo Papp, who never really gave it a go in the pros.
And being from Philadelphia, I have to at least agree with Russell just to keep the things.
Because he's from Philly.
He's from Philly.
But so, Lomachenko is attempting to also become one of the greatest pros ever, and there have been very few careers that have been this good, this fast.
Lomachenko is smart. The last few fights I watch, he takes his time, but not to the point where he let the other guy get in a rhythm. He's still moving his feet. That's important through this fight. It's going to be the movement of positioning where he fires when he stops.
No, that's a great point. He's not looking for first-round knockouts. He's not really looking for knockouts. He's looking to win the rounds in the best way he can and build a rhythm that continues to grow over the course of the fight, no matter how many rounds it goes. Great up and under left by Lomachenko. Momentarily knocked Sosa back into the ropes.
Oh, Sosa heard that punch, and he also felt it. Lomachenko has really an accuracy and legs and foot combination because he continued foot-hands combination because he continued to throw punches based on the movement and the angles that he wound up being at.
Sosa looks to be in sensational shape, Bernard. Are his muscles too tight?
I think he's a little tight. I think he's also muscle-bound, which can also be a negative as the round goes if it goes deep into rounds because the arms become heavy.
Yeah, if you had picked a winner in Vosdick versus Gonzalez before the fight, you would have said, oh, look at Gonzalez's upper body. He's built like a battleship.
Yeah,
and
but
Vosdick was leaner.
Yes, but anybody in boxing that knows the sport, you know, muscle-bound don't necessarily means quick or power. It just means you got a good beach body to get everybody saying, ooh, ah.
Lomachenko putting together some good combinations in round 1, landing that excellent left hand that knocked Sosa back into the ropes. Sosa didn't really bother Lomachenko that much in the round.
Everything is fine. I like the way you're fighting. But keep doing what you're doing, what we were talking about before. Look, you're waiting too much. You have to counter him. Whenever he throws one punch, you got to counter him right away.
12 rounds, you got to, beautiful to the body. You got to work that again. Very good, very well done. Deep. Be intelligent. Fuck it, be intelligent. You heard? All right, very good. And lots of angles. Move, move, move. Very good job.
Stay back, stay back, stay back.
Round 2 begins. Lomachenko sometimes will focus on working his jab. Sometimes he'll step inside and show you how well he fights at close range. Changes it up from time to time. Jason Sosa wants to get close.
Getting close for Sosa is really a good thing, but he must not stay close and not punch. He has to stay active once he's inside because if he don't, Lomachenko will counter and he also would spin him and be on the angles and throw many combinations that Sosa would not be able to handle.
Lomachenko is one of those fighters who has so many oh my god did you see that moves, like a rapper with punchlines where you got to keep rewinding because they're coming so fast at you, you don't remember, you can't keep up with them all. And real boxing heads always have a special affinity for that kind of fighter. And already you hear the fight fans. He's the educated fight fans' favorite fighter, and it's happened very quickly.
Lomachenko thought he got hit low, but he really caused that to be on his own fault because he pulled Sosa's head down with his right hand as Sosa was coming in, which made Sosa throw a punch that he couldn't see where it was going.
Regardless, he backed up, he stared at Kenny Chevalier as if to say that was a low blow. Chevalier stepped forward and said something to Sosa. So in effect, Lomachenko ruled it a low blow.
Yeah, well, if he wanted to be the referee and the fighter, then Sosa has an opportunity now to capitalize on a distraction that Lomachenko might be facing. But, you know, right now, the spin move, I just said it earlier, he's going to continue to get on angles. He's just looking for position, let those hands go.
You know, until the pretty recent past, you didn't see fighters who weren't American fighters fight the way Lomachenko fights.
Good straight left hand.
Not even Pernell Whitaker?
Right. I mentioned Roy Jones. I mentioned Floyd Mayweather, Pernell Whitaker. These are who are top athletes who, especially in Whitaker and Mayweather's case, because they weren't big punchers like Roy,
but Mayweather
also had to rely on honing their craft. So they were both extremely athletic and extremely skilled.
But Mayweather and Pernell was sort of like Matrix, like, you know, Roy was just reflexes.
Right.
I mean, not just reflexes. He had power too, but he had reflexes and instincts.
Yep.
Bernard Hopkins got a pretty good close look at Roy Jones twice. Got a better look at him the second time. Body shots landing for Lomachenko. Combination upstairs. Another combination upstairs. Lomachenko, too much hand speed.
Too much hand speed and too much feet position. Look where his feet is being positioned. And that's important because he's firing off those angles, which Sosa can't handle it.
So Lomachenko opened up a little bit more in the second round and landed more in the second round. May 6th, don't miss the pay-per-view showdown between fellow Mexican superstars Canelo Alvarez and Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. from the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. 2 weeks later, Terrence Crawford returns to the ring to defend his 140-pound title against 2008 gold medalist Felix Diaz of the Dominican Republic. That fight is now in Madison Square Garden. And just announced this week, the June 17 rematch between Andre Ward and Sergey Kovalev. Ward scored a controversial decision win over Kovalev last November. Ward versus Kovalev will be brought to you by HBO Pay-Per-View. That's the summit of the light heavyweight division. The new face in the light heavyweight division, Alexander Zvozdik, just got a tremendous knockout win over Yunieski Gonzalez tonight.
When you see the replay, you will see that Lomachenko pulled his head down, but it was only because Sosa didn't see the left hand or the right hand pulling his head down and he threw a punch. It wasn't his fault, but it looked like a low blow, but it wasn't.
But when a royalty fighter like Lomachenko stands back and gives an imperious look like that to Kenny Chevalier, the referee, Chevalier felt compelled to say something.
Well, if you see the fist land in the middle of the groin, a lot of times you're going to get that call anyway.
Yeah, but it was because Lomachenko's pulling him in, and that, you know, Sosa didn't see because he couldn't see because he was face down. Really being pulled face down, even though he didn't fall. But he didn't see what he was punching.
Lomachenko's defense, not only upper body defense, but obviously also with his legs, also picking off shots with his arms, positioning his head where he knows his opponent can't reach him, and then he uses defensive position to get offense off in combinations. He's not a devastating puncher, but he's not a light one either.
But he's definitely an accurate and a consistent puncher, and that's sometimes in this fight is going to be really, really a factor because he's not throwing hard punches from one or two. He just threw a combination, two punches, left hand, right hand. And he's moving just enough to get away, but be in range to counter.
Jason Sosa got in a hard right hand to the body. A couple of exchanges ago, one of his better punches in the fight so far. Lomachenko tried to retaliate to the body. Now he's back to moving and giving those footwork equations to Sosa as he goes from one side of the ring to the other.
Harold Lederman, the last time we saw Lomachenko dismantle Nicholas Walters, who's a top fighter, compared him to Willie Pep, except Willie Pep didn't have this offense.
Watch Lomachenko start throwing those uppercuts from the left or the right because Sosa's leaning forward over his lead leg, and the uppercut would be just the right punch to time Sosa leaning in.
Tries the left uppercut right there.
Pep, great featherweight. One of the greatest fighters who ever lived, but rarely stopped anyone. Lomachenko's, he makes you pay. The defense gets you out of position. He makes you pay with that offense.
And he makes you fight not to get knocked out more than just win the fight. That's also starting to be pressured mentally to not try to get either knocked out or knocked down. And he's trying to avoid that right now.
Lomachenko gave Sosa a lot of credit for taking the fight. Sosa had the option of going to Panama to fight Jezreel Corrales for a WBA title, but he and his promoter, Russell Peltz, didn't like the idea of having to fight on Panamanian turf against a Panamanian fighter, and they chose this instead.
If you look at Lomachenko, he takes those steps to the right and to the left, sort of like Mike Tyson used to do to set up his punches from the right or left.
Good job, damn it.
Give me guys. Give me the. Buen trabajito.
Very good job.
Buen trabajito.
Good job.
Buen trabajito.
Good job.
Arriba, respira. Quita
Breathe.
Bonito.
Good mouthpiece.
Buen trabajito, papi.
Very good job, baby.
¿Viste la diferencia?
You saw the difference there? He can't fight when you're pressuring him. If you don't pressure him, he does whatever he wants. We're in very good condition here. All right? I want you to press him all the time. Okay, you understood? Okay, yes. You got to be more effective now. Let's work the body, eh? Work the body, don't forget it. Work the body, it's very important. Touch him. Uppercut on the middle, all right? With the right uppercut. When you're in front of him, move. Move the head.
Jason Sosa's mother, Carmen, and his brother, John, making the trip down from Camden, New Jersey. And you heard his trainer, Raul Rivas, saying to him in the corner, good job, you're doing the right things. But through 3 rounds, he's averaged 7 landed out of 31 thrown, and Lomachenko has much bigger numbers. Harold, how do you have it through 3?
3-0, 30-27, Vasyl Lomachenko. You know, Jim, he's just incredible. I mean, the movement, the boxing, the
right hand by Jason Sosa. Go ahead.
Yeah, the right hand, the combinations. I mean, yeah, lands a million punches. I think the guy's a fabulous boxer. There's no question. I think Sosa, the only way Sosa can win this fight is if he nails him. I mean, he's got to land something really big. You know, he's trying like heck to land something really big. If he does, you know, he might get lucky and put Lomachenko away, but I doubt it very much. 3-0, Vasyl Lomachenko.
Any young guy out there need to learn something from boxing with a jab. Look at Sosa's left eye. His left eye is starting to swell. And Max, let me tell you, that came from jabs early in the round. From the beginning to the fight, Lomachenko comes out and throws straight lefts and straight rights that really put a damage on Sosa's eye.
And so Harold brought up how Sosa's only chance is to nail Lomachenko. And if it sounds like, well, yeah, no kidding, that could happen to anyone. It's specific to Lomachenko because you're not going to hit him with 2 in a row. No. The truly great defensive fighters, anyone can get hit. But Lomachenko, if you hit him, it's with 1 shot. You ain't going to hit him with a follow-up. So you better make that 1 shot count.
And he's working the body. Lomachenko is working the body right now. And it's just really now target practice. And you know what? He's breaking the will of Sosa. You can see that he's starting to feel the pain of every punch that's being thrown from Lomachenko.
If you watch boxing long enough, you gradually come to the realization power is glamorous and power is impressive, but accuracy is way more important. If you land the punch right on the guy's nose or right on the chin over and over, he's going to go away, regardless of how hard a hitter you are.
Accuracy is beautiful because it's coming in rapid fire, and Lomachenko is constantly, moving left, right, blocking punches with his elbows, smothering punches. I mean, he's doing everything that a pound-for-pound fighter do when they're at the top and represent that position. Look at that move. Just now, 4 or 5 punch combination.
He gets over to the side where the other fighter is completely out of position, and at that point he's at Lomachenko's mercy.
And does it so well that sometimes it looks as though he's the one who's stepping out of position, and then you realize he went to exactly where he wanted to go.
He just hit Sosa with a straight left hand that's stunning for a split second, and that's the punch I think he's going to continue to try to slip in there when Sosa comes forward.
Typical Lomachenko fight. Increasingly one-sided through the first 4 rounds. Jason Sosa looking to land something big and seeming sometimes to come close. But all in all, Lomachenko landing many more punches. April 24, we'll kick off the countdown to the May 6th super fight between Canelo Alvarez and Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. with Canelo Chavez, a fighting tradition, which offers a look at the 2 Mexican superstars against the backdrop of hailing from the world's most passionate boxing culture. April 29, the countdown continues with Face-Off Canelo Chavez as both fighters join Max Kellerman for a face-to-face interview in advance of their upcoming pay-per-view showdown. You've already heard Max tell you it was intense.
Throw the hooks to the body, okay, baby? Come on. Be away. I don't want you against the rope. If you're on the rope, you got to work, but you got to get out of there, ropes.
We go to the 5th round of a scheduled 12. Vasyl Lomachenko defending his 130-pound crown against Jason Sosa. Referee Kenny Chevalier asked Sosa's corner to take some of the grease off his face, and here we go. And you can see total punches landed. Lomachenko more than tripling Sosa so far. Straight left hand by Lomachenko.
Boy, Sosa has a good chin because he got hit just now with a right hook, but he also got hit before that with a straight left hand.
Lomachenko, you can hit him here and there. And that's because unlike the great Cuban boxing master Guillermo Rigondeaux, who uses his boxing to neutralize his opponent and doesn't make a move unless everything is perfect, Lomachenko will take more risks. So he can be hit occasionally cleanly, but that's because he's looking to get off his own offense.
It's a fighter remind me of Prince Nazim when he had those thick legs. He had those legs that he could move. Even though Lomachenko's legs is not as big as Prince Nazim, but he used his movement. He used his legs. He had strong bottom. He had the strong bottom to be able to move and pivot like he did.
But he doesn't swing from the fences the way Naseem Hamed did.
No, he's definitely accurate more than Prince Nazim, but the foot movement, the position, and the strength from the bottom puts him in position to do this.
Tremendous left-hand body shot by Lomachenko.
It's the
now the right-hand body shot.
That hook to the body took it out of him.
Phenomenal.
It made him stand still. Sosa he just stands still, and right now he's just fighting off a heart. He's just trying to figure out where can he get a time to punch, and where is he going to be when he punch.
Guys, Gary Russell Jr. is really, really good. He maybe won 2 out of 12 rounds against Lomachenko. Nicholas Walters was beating the hell out of guys. Never came close to losing and quit against Lomachenko because he was being humiliated. And here, Jason Sosa is a solid guy. He hasn't won a moment of the fight. He's being completely undressed.
Hey, Sosa is right across the bridge from Philadelphia, and I'm pretty sure he stopped in Philadelphia through more than one time to be able to go ahead and get that experience, and also in Jersey. So no, he's not going to quit. This fight won't be end because he quit. He's going to fight to the end.
I guess it can't be any worse than cooking pizzas 14 hours a day.
I'd rather be cooking pizzas.
Which is what brought Jason Sosa to boxing.
Well, I think he'd rather be here than doing pizza because he has the heart of a lion, and he's going to continue to try to get something out of this.
That was the 22nd power punch landed in the round, and now we're getting closer to 30.
Well, a lot of those punches are being missed, Jim. A lot of those punches being caught on the arm, and look at Sosa come back. He's coming back to try to get
a lot of heart.
He got a lot of heart because he's not filling his tank yet. Not yet.
That landed.
He wanted more. He said, come on. Not a smart way to fight, but he asked for more.
Got a lot of heart.
Breathe. Water, breathe. All right, very nice. Put some water on his head. Breathe.
Let's go. Let's make this into a dog fight. You understand that? Okay, it's obvious he's the most technical fighter, right? When you make it into a dog fight, you see how you respond better? Let's make this into a dog fight. 2 things are gonna happen. Whether we don't knock him out, I fucking get it in, I carry your ass out. But at the end of the day, you're gonna give me 100% in that motherfucker. Your 100% is better than his 150%.
This is an excellent, not only right, but the left is coming because of Sosa coming straight. And Sosa coming with his hands down and heads up, and that's why he got hit with that combination. He must now keep his hands up where he won't get countered when he come in.
The really interesting thing about Lomachenko to me is boxing's been around in an organized way for well over 100 years at this point, and you think that you've seen it all, and then you see just new iterations or permutations of stuff you've already seen. But I can't think of anyone.
Not at this level.
I can't think of anyone quite like Lomachenko. He's showing us something new.
With the fights that he had on his resume, you would think he'd been around a long time, and he hasn't.
And now, because Jason Sosa talked trash to him at the end of the last round, Lomachenko is showboating, putting on a show. First, he imitates Jason Sosa, throwing wild shots. Then he steps inside Sosa's gloves and hits him with clean shots. Sosa gets in a right hand, one of his better punches. But Lomachenko was given credit by CompuBox for landing 42 punches in the 5th round.
But Lomachenko better not get too confident and too relaxed, because Sosa looked like he's throwing some heat on that right hand.
He is. He's still trying to win the fight, and he can punch, and he's not giving up.
I mean, he's a tough guy. There's no secret about that. And he's going to try to do anything he can do to get back in this fight. But I think he should work on now the jab and not stay so close where he can get countered. Because, you know, Lomachenko's doing the matrix on him. He's throwing 4 or 5 punches, working the body and working the head. The only way he can stop that if he fire with him. He got to throw a punch.
The main thing is he's going to lose big any which way you slice it. His best shot is when Lomachenko gets into those extended combinations, accept the fact you might get knocked out, and go for broke with one hard shot of his own.
Which is more or less what trainer Raul Rivas told him between rounds.
What a ripping shot to the body Lomachenko just landed.
Sosa is really slowing down now, and he's starting to feel the effects of those punches coming in bunches as they came in the last minute or two.
Bernard, do you get dizzy? Is that what happens?
Well, you get hurt and you get dizzy, both in combination, because now you're starting to realize that every time you throw your punch, you get hit with 4 or 5 punches, and you're not in position to counter.
Bernard, how would you know? You've never been outboxed like this.
Well, one is I'll try to fight in close. I'll try to grab and hold if he try to leave, and be in range to be able to fire. And that's the key. When you fight guys with this leg movement and accuracy, you must stay close enough where you can also smother them.
And by the way, how about the stamina?
To keep throwing those shots. Usually fighters with this volume and precision aren't also this good defensively.
How you feeling? Okay? Listen, you're bending too far, all right? And he's catching you with that uppercut. Now when you're down, come up with something over the top. Come on, be intelligent. You gotta be strong now. Be strong. Breathe. Breathe.
Here's the showboating based on what? Trying to buy some time, trying to make it seem like things ain't happening. But you know, this part of the game when you sort of in a desperate situation. And look, Lomachenko is just now having fun. He's pop-shotting, and Sosa can't do anything but to react like, come on, but that really means don't come. So they both really posturing at each other.
At first, Lomachenko was holding out the cape as though he was the matador. Then he mimicked Sosa throwing lumbering shots. Harold, how do you have it through 6?
Jim, I got it 6-0, 60-54, Vasyl Lomachenko. You know, Jim, Jason Sosa got some heart. He got a great jaw, tremendous heart. I mean, the guy's still standing. It's amazing. He's taking shots that would have knocked over telephone poles, and he's still fighting back. I mean, yeah, there's just no quit in Jason Sosa. It's amazing. I just hope that, you know, even if he loses tonight, I want to see him fight again, because he's got a big heart and he never stops trying. 6-0, Vasyl Lomachenko.
I have a feeling we're going to say that about a lot of fighters who fight Lomachenko. What a heart, because of the beating they'll wind up taking.
Well, we didn't say that about Nicholas Walters.
That was
part of what was surprising about that bout.
You You know, that was low there. That was low, and he probably was scoring the belt. But, you know, Lomachenko, he's going more to the head hunting more than going to the body. And I think if he mix it up, he'll get a better reaction than he's getting now, because Sosa is taking all the punches up top, and he's used to them now. He's sort of immune to it. And I think he should go to the body, and now he will bring the head down along with the hands and be able to execute.
There was a body shot.
Jim, you're right about Walters, because there seem to be two options for Lomachenko opponents, even the really, really good ones. Be humiliated and beaten up over time and show your heart, or quit and don't. But either way, the fights seem to turn out one-sided.
Until the night when it doesn't. You know, I mean, we've heaped this kind of glory on fighters before. Ultimately, somehow or another, they begin to diminish. But right now, this is a guy who clearly, at age 29, is at the absolute peak of his powers and has skills that no other fighter in the world appears to be able to match.
All right, come on now, hands are free. Stop. There we go.
And anyone can be hit, and anyone can be hurt, and Sosa's still game, and he's in there trying to do just that.
Trying to land one thunderous shot, one thunderous right hand that can turn the fight around. But he's throwing more and more of them from off-balance positions where he really wouldn't be able to do any damage even if he landed it.
Exactly. What he's doing is now just like really trying to keep Lomachenko off him. And so right now, as he haven't threw a punch in, 2 or 3, 4 seconds, he's getting really hit with combinations through one left hook. But Lomachenko now is target practicing, and I believe the uppercut, one way or the other, is going to be the one to put this guy down. Sosa is going to go down from combinations, but definitely the uppercut.
Stop on the bail.
You pin Lomachenko against the ropes, as Sosa did there. You may not like what happens next.
Hey, listen, it's 8th round. You gotta take him out now. You gotta repeat. You gotta take him out. Go after him. He's not supposed to see your punches. He's not supposed to see them coming. Keep your hands up. He's comfortable when you're throwing just one punch. Don't make him comfortable.
Be intelligent. Okay, you hear me? Be intelligent. And I tell you, bring your hands up. Stop bringing your head down. It's too far down. All right. Let's go.
Box numbers as we go into the 8th round show that Jason Sosa has landed in single digits in all 7 rounds. So it isn't just Lomachenko's offense, which is amazing. It's the defense as well, and that's part of the reason why opponents get frustrated over a period of time. They want to land against him. That's very difficult to do, and he's landing against them.
Lomachenko's opponents, the way he gets opponents, it works like this. He tells his people, I want one of the other belt holders. Well, they're not available. For Lomachenko, they're not available. They'd like to hold on to their belts. Okay, get me the #1 contender. If he's not available, #2. If he's not available, #3.
But he expressed dissatisfaction with the featherweight division because none of the titleists would fight him. So he moved up to 130 pounds. He fought Walters. Now he says he can't get other titleists in the 130-pound weight division to fight him. Sosa had a secondary WBA belt. That was good enough. And he was happy that Sosa took the bait and decided to take the fight. Now he's thinking that he might have to move up to 135. And at 135, Max Kellerman, there are some interesting possible opponents. Jorge Linares, who has tremendous speed. Mikey Garcia, who has tremendous power.
Especially the Garcia fight would be a monster fight. But I think Lomachenko would be favored against any fighter in the world up to Terence Crawford, who's a 140-pounder.
And big. And got size.
And who's also a special fighter, a different kind of special fighter. Crawford may be favored against Lomachenko. I don't know that anyone else south of, up to 140 would be.
The combinations that Lomachenko is throwing right now, and Sosa, who's weighing in the wing, is really hurt with body shots. He started from the body, left hook, right hand to the body, and he's hurt right now.
And Lomachenko's corner told him between rounds, it's time to put him away, and he has got his man drunk.
And they also doing a matrix on him, and he's hitting from every angle.
I'll tell you what, Sosa's corner sure is brave, aren't they?
Well, they're not in there getting hit, man.
Right, sending him out here for this.
So it's easy to be brave when you're not getting hit.
Kenny Chevalier is watching very closely.
That's the point, Bernard.
Let's see how brave a referee he's going to be.
But the first line of defense, even before the ref, is the corner. And the corner's idea that better that Sosa goes out on his back, giving it his all, than quitting.
But Sosa would not quit, and that's the key. You have to save the fighter from himself, Jim, because he's going to fight until he can't fight anymore.
Well, now Sosa gets a little rest after the low blow stoppage. And Lomachenko took maybe 15 seconds to recover from the low blow.
And that's not going to be good for Sosa because that rest gives him the chance to recalculate what he was doing, and he's going to go back to the body and come up to the head.
These are the kind of fights. Lomachenko's a good but not devastating puncher. Sosa's too game for his own good. He needs to be saved from himself. I mean, Lomachenko doubled over in pain as an empathetic reaction when he hit his opponent with the left hand to the body.
I'm gonna make it simple, right? If I see nothing in his round, I'm gonna stop the fight. I'm not gonna let you get hurt. At the end of the day, my responsibility is to protect you. You're my son, and I'm gonna do what's my job. I'm gonna do my job. I'm gonna give you one more round. If I see nothing, I'm stopping the fight. Do you understand that? Okay, let's go. I'm gonna give you one more round. If I see domination, like I saw he just did to you, I'm stopping the fight. My job is not to let you get hurt, and I'm not doing that. If I don't see you got nothing to respond, I'm stopping the fight. You understand that? I love you to death. That's the reality. Get in water. Let's wake the fuck up. You understand that? Let's wake up. You got this round to show me something.
In round 8, Vasyl Lomachenko landed 48 punches. That's his high number for the fight. A lot of them were very clean shots, straight ahead to the body or head. He's done a lot of damage to Jim.
Right off of angles, Jim. I mean, straight shots, straight left hand to the solarplex. I mean, yes, from the left to the right. He's basically body beating Sosa to every point of the angle of the ring he can.
I like the speech that Sosa got in the corner. I think it was 1 round late.
Let's see. Lives up to it. Jason Sosa has come out and is showing you that he wants to make a bigger effort here in the 9th round.
His defense, Sosa's defense is so wide open. Once Lomachenko starts throwing punches, I think that's when the referee is going to be really, really close to watch to stop this fight.
It's like watching a lumberjack with an axe go against a buzzsaw.
When you know the tree is almost down.
Exactly right.
I mean, the accuracy of Lomachenko with the right, the left, and just stay there and looks. He just pop shotting right now.
Yeah, it's more like a guy with a buzzsaw against a tree, I think, Jim.
A wobbling tree.
Yep. At this point, it's just a demonstration of how many shots Sosa can take.
Well, he's took a lot so far, and I think the referee is taking a close eye on Sosa taking any more unnecessarily punches.
Sosa's balance is so bad now that he almost went through the ropes on his own.
His eyes closed.
And Lomachenko, let's face it, Lomachenko's not laying the same kind of leather on him that he did in the last round.
Well, I think it's a little bit of mercy there that he's doing. I think
he is showing mercy.
To his credit, that's what he's doing because the power is not there, Max, like it was the last round. Because now he's
like he's hurt Sosa badly enough.
Right. And I think he wanted to throw punches with a referee, just come in and stop it. But the referee is not looking like he wants to stop it right now.
So who's going to save Sosa? Lomachenko's trying to save him. I've never seen that before.
The corner or the referee?
Right. It should be the corner and then the ref, but I've never seen before one fighter land a devastating punch to another fighter and then without the intent to mock, just out of sympathy, you know, himself look like he experienced the shot, the way a fan would like, ooh, that really hurt.
But this is it. This was 2 or 3 good body shots, and he's still letting it go on. But, you know, give Sosa a chance to go ahead and fire back. But right now, I think he's just waiting to get seriously hurt, and they need to pay attention real quickly.
Well, mercy from Lomachenko may be to hit him a little harder to end the fight.
We always say it. The clean knockout is merciful. It brings an end to the punishment. Lomachenko is not a devastating power puncher. He's a guy who's going to hit you 100 times.
But he beats you up, Jim. He beats you up bad.
And don't tell Rocky Martinez that, by the way.
It looks as though Rivas took the mouthpiece out of Jason Sosa's mouth. And now they're going to stop.
Good for Rivas. Correct call.
Good job.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. Right call.
Congratulations to Lomachenko. Sosa's disappointed, but this is the right call. Another technical knockout for Vasyl Lomachenko against a thoroughly outclassed opponent. Lomachenko paying real respect to Jason Sosa in that conversation. So the man many now call the best pound-for-pound fighter in boxing runs his overall professional record to 8-1. You heard me right. 8 wins, 1 loss, and many believe he is the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in boxing.
He got my vote.
Achievement.
He has my vote.
It really is.
Amazing with the fights that he has.
Shows you every time he goes into the ring his absolutely incomparable skills.
Skills, body, ring generalship, angles, punches. You know, he done everything a pound-for-pound fighter would do in that position, in the ring, and also representing that position.
We're pulling names from past boxing history, trying to find valid comparisons, because there simply isn't a valid comparison among fighters who are in the ring at this moment in time.
And that what makes him special, Lomachenko. With the amount of fights he have on his resume and his record, and how he systematically execute these fights in fashion where he's literally showing veteran skills at this early stage of his pro career is really unbelievable.
And let's make this point. You can be born with enormous talent. You can be Muhammad Ali or Roy Jones, but you don't achieve what he achieves by being born that way. That takes countless hours of work in the gym to perfect what he does.
Yes, and it takes a special fighter. It takes a special fighter to get it, and also to execute it, and also, you know, be at a level where we are saying, wow, you have seen this type of talent at this stage.
So now let's go to Micah Buffer at the edge of the ring with the official particulars on this TKO.
Ladies and gentlemen, here at the MGM National Harbor, the end comes at the end of round number 9 as referee Kenny Chevalier, following the urging of the challenger's corner, calls a halt to the bout. The winner by TKO victory, and still the WBO super featherweight champion of the world, Vasyl Lomachenko.
All right, let's take a look at final punch stat numbers, and you will see how one-sided they are, as Lomachenko lands 207 more punches, throws 410 more punches, lands 40% of his punches overall, which is remarkable in and of itself. About the power punch numbers, 204 out of 351. 58% of his power punches. He could have done that all night, by the way. If we were in round 15, he would be landing 60% of his power punches. Jason Sosa, 58 out of 199, 29%. He was still trying as hard as he could all the way through. Punch zone will show us where the punches landed on Sosa. 217 to the head, 58 to the body. Probably he could have thrown more body punches in the middle part of the fight. Maybe he would have gotten rid of Sosa a little bit more quickly, but Sosa trash-talked him. And for 2 rounds after that, Lomachenko wanted to go to the head, which he did, and he made Sosa dizzy. And
credit to Sosa, he has big heart. I mean, he took a lot of blows even before it came to this, but it wasn't enough. He's a tough guy. But look, he was in there with Lomachenko, and Lomachenko is totally another level.
It's like watching Mozart conduct. Let's go to Max Kellerman with Vasyl Lomachenko.
Congratulations, Vasyl. Another completely dominant performance. We can talk about this fight quickly. I don't know how much there is to say. How did you do what you did?
Как ты сделал то, что сделал?
Я вышел в ринг сделать свою работу, я вышел показать высокотехнологичный бокс, я старался это сделать, я пытался сделать так, чтобы понравилось всем людям, которые находятся здесь в зале и смотрят телеканал HBO.
I came into the ring to do my job. I wanted to show everybody at the high tech, and I think I pleased everybody. I wanted to please all the audience, all the fans that came tonight, and I think I did my job really well.
Speaking of that, for the first time since you've been fighting in the United States, you see a large crowd and a growing crowd come out to support you. Why do you think you are starting to connect with fight fans here? A lot of them seem to be Ukrainian, but why do you think you're connecting with fight fans at this point?
Я не знаю, не могу ответить. Может быть, им просто нравится то, что я делаю в ринге, а может быть, я просто симпатичный парень.
It's hard for me to say. Maybe they like what I do in the ring, but maybe I'm just a good-looking guy.
Ringside, we're at a loss to compare you to someone. We brought up Willie Pep and Pernell Whitaker, and we've never seen someone quite like you. Do you model your style after any of the past greats? And who?
Нет, это стиль, наверное, Ломаченко-старшего. Это он меня научил. Спасибо ему.
No, I modeled my style after my father. This is Lomachenko's senior style.
Okay. Nicholas Walters, Gary Russell Jr., they weren't able to really compete with you. Sosa was not able to compete. He gave it his best, but it was lopsided. Who out there that you see do you think will make a good fight with you?
Я думаю, что после этого боя я вернусь домой, немного отдохну. После этого мы, наверное, приступим к переговорам с чемпионами 130. Если мы там не договоримся, мы пойдем вверх 135. Ждите.
I'm going to come back home, I'm going to get some rest, and then after that, we're going to start negotiations with all the champions at 130. If we can't get anybody, we can move to 135, and we're going to do damage out there. Don't sleep.
The name at 135 everyone's interested in is Mikey Garcia. What do you think about that?
Я тоже хочу этого боя, это очень интересный бой. И этот бой войдет в историю, это то, чего я хочу.
I want to see that fight too. And this is the fight that will make history. I want to make this fight right away.
Quickly, Orlando Salido has the win against you as a professional. Do you hold out hope that you can get him back in the ring for a rematch?
Да ладно, это было, знаете как, тогда был бой трехклассника с 11-классником. Сегодня я уже в университете, я его приглашаю в свой университет.
You know, back in the day, it was like a third grader fighting a 12th grader. Right now, I'm graduated from the university, and I want to invite him to my university, to my school.